Record. All right. Good evening or good morning, wherever you all are calling in from. My name is Jackie Martinez. I am Debbie Wetzler's daughter. So I'm going to be hosting tonight's call. It's a 20-minute presentation about redox, where you'll learn all about what redox is and how it helps you. Feel free, if you have any questions during the presentation, to type in the chat and I'll get to them at the end. So we will get started. I'm just going to share my screen. All right. All righty. So I'm first going to say, actually, that both my mom and I do this every Wednesday. It's at 6 o'clock Mountain Time, same Zoom number that you're on right now. So feel free to invite guests for following weeks. I'm just going to mute people as well. If you're not muted, please mute yourself. But just to give you a background, both my mom and I have been on this product technology for 14 years. She's been educating people around the world about this for 14 years. I joined her about 7 years ago, and that's how we got started. Different paths. My mom was introduced to this by a friend of hers in Colorado. She had been virtually praying for something that would help her financially, actually, not anything to do with health, although she has always been into finding holistic ways to heal the body. And she was in a very bad financial situation, about to lose our house, unbeknownst to me. And she gets a call the very next day by Cindy telling her about this technology. And she just knew intuitively that this was the answer to her prayers. And so it totally changed her around financially, just helping tens of thousands of people around the world with this technology. And so when I was searching what I wanted to do in life, I wanted a job that gave me time freedom, help people. I've always been into health and wellness myself. So this had the perfect combination of all of that. So let's get started. All right. We always like to say what ASEA is not. It's very unique. I'm sure you've never heard of redox signaling molecules before. It's not a vitamin. It's not another mineral, antioxidant, exotic juice, essential oil, CBD oil. It's none of that. It goes beyond nutrition and ingredients. It impacts your health at a very deep level. They're known as redox signaling molecules. A lot of people have said this is the missing link to their health when they've tried everything and sometimes it hasn't worked. This has been the answer to so many people's prayers of achieving their health and helping heal their body. So the company ASEA has been able to tap into this science known as redox signaling molecules. It is the first and only cell signaling supplement on the market. We have no competition, no copycats. It's backed by 7 patents and over 1,000 trade secrets. So I'm going to explain what they do in a nutshell. Okay. So as a child, you make trillions and trillions of these redox signaling molecules. As you age, starting at puberty, so about the age of 10, is when you start losing them. You lose them at a rate of 10% per decade. They're made from almost every cell of the body. And during what's called the Krebs cycle, that's when mitochondria in your cells takes the food you eat and turns into energy. That's when these molecules are created. So they're made from mitochondria. And so what happens is that the mitochondria, for whatever reason, start dying off when we hit puberty. So that's why we have less energy as we age. And because we make less and less mitochondria, we make less and less of these redox signaling molecules. And so our healing capability is also slowed down. And so these are really the building blocks of your cells that make up tissues, that make up organs, that make up systems, that make up you. So they're made from salt and water. Your cells are little bags of salt and water. And during the Krebs cycle, your cells split apart the water and salt into 4 atoms. hydrogen and oxygen that make up water, and salt that make up sodium and chloride. Your body reconfigures them into these different redox molecules. So for instance, O2, that's superoxide, that's a redox molecule. And H2O2, that's hydrogen peroxide, that's another redox molecule. So ASEA does the same thing using pure water, pharmaceutical grade salt, and it recombines all these different those atoms into different redox molecules. So they're identical to what your body makes. So your body recognizes it when you drink more or you use the gel, which I'll describe in just a little bit. There's no bad side effects, zero toxicity, no one can be allergic. Oh, again, completely native to the body. Your body knows exactly what to do with these molecules. So what they do, I'm going to break it down in the most layman terms. Redox comes from two words, reductants and oxidants. Reductants are what turn on and activate antioxidants. So the first part is detoxification of your body. And people experience that when they first start. Oxidants are what allow our cells to communicate or signal with each other. So they're allowing your heart to beat right now, your lungs to breathe, your blood to pump, everything's signaling your body. And as they're signaling, they're going and finding damaged cells everywhere in the body. So you can imagine they're going to every single system in the body as well, the nervous systems, cardiovascular system, lymphatic, you name it, looking for damaged cells. They even cross the blood-brain barrier as well. So we like to give an example, like if someone has an autoimmune issue where their immune system is overactive, these molecules will help regulate and balance that immune system and help it get into balance so that it's not overactive. And or if you have a suppressed immune system, it's going to help support and strengthen it. Whatever your body needs, that's what these molecules do. And what's so profound is that these molecules, again, don't care what the damaged cell is called, whatever doctors call the issue. They're just going out, finding those damaged cells and communicating with your immune system, helping repair and replace them with healthy new cells because we are meant to stay healthy. We like to show some before and after pictures. Of course, you can imagine the same thing is happening on the inside of our body. We just don't have pictures of that. We have pictures of course, the outside of our body. So I'm going to go over each one of these. The woman on the top right, all these people are drinking it and using the gel. So this is her neck in just 21 days. Most people, they're doing a before and after picture of 28 days. The gel is called Renew 28 because as a child, we renew our skin cells every 28 days. That increases as we age. So we start getting the sags, bags, and wrinkles, unfortunately. But this is her neck in 21 days. Very profound. This is a man, a research veterinarian. He applied it on half of his face to use the same skin cells. And as a man and a researcher would, he wanted to see the difference. So as you can see, the depth of the wrinkle is totally diminished on the left-hand side. And just, he's starting to look like he actually had a stroke. And even his wife said, Marty, you got to apply it on the other side of your face. You're starting to look like you have a stroke, basically. Cracked heels, it's prevalent here in Colorado, a very dry climate. So in 48 hours, it's virtually almost gone. And then in 1 week, it's virtually all gone. Same thing with, this is our friend Angel. Blemishes, redness. This is after a month of using it. You can see that she has totally renewed her skin cells, basically. So these are just some pictures. Same thing with skin problems. It really doesn't matter what the issue is called. I will say compliant so that you can share this with other people. The woman on the left has a dry, itchy, red skin issue that some people have that there's no real medication for. You can get steroids, but steroids are not great for you. This is her issue in about 3 weeks of using Again, the liquid and the gel. The woman on the top right, she had an autoimmune issue. She could have been really scarred for life. And this is her in just 2 months. And then on the man with the skin tag, again, those are damaged cells. They shouldn't be there. So they got the message to flake off in about 16 days. And we always suggest using the gel at least twice a day. And then these are some more pictures just showing that doesn't matter your background, your ethnicity, it works on all skin types. We all make redox signaling molecules. These are dark spots, another skin issue that people deal with that you can see is they're virtually gone using this. And you can see the different times, lengths of time. And then the woman on the left, she's just, a lot of people are noticing that this is really great for your skin and wanting to be sponsored by us and or endorse us because our products are so clean, our skincare, but then also no one else has redox signaling molecules. And then lastly, this is Rosie. You can see she's totally like reverse aging in time. She started at 84, she ended at 90. She was introduced to this technology by her son, Mark. He had gotten in a horrible car accident, completely got off all 30 medications from using this technology. So he wanted his mom to give this a try. She starts trying the liquid, using the gel. She goes, you know, Mark, I feel good on this, but I don't notice the difference look-wise. Well, luckily he was smart and took a before picture for her and gave it to her and said, Mom, do you want to stop taking this? And she obviously didn't. She continued to take it, and you can see the life was brought back into her. And this is not just for old people and or for people that have health issues. It's really for anyone. You know, I'm 35. I use it for prevention because we're just inundated with stress, environmental toxins, what we eat, what we drink. Our cells are always being damaged. It's also for athletes. Athletes use this. It gives people more endurance, faster recovery. We have studies on how this increases VO2 levels, which is volume of oxygen, by about 12%, which is pretty profound because steroids, which are illegal and bad for you, only raise VO2 levels by about 3%. We have a study on how mice were given this, and they went 29% longer with their endurance. And then one more study on how 30 minutes after drinking these redox molecules, your body goes into what's called fatty acid metabolism. So you're burning more fatty acids around your abdomen and your organs and leaving the glycogen in your brain and muscles where it's needed. So if you do drink this and then go for even a walk after, you're burning more fatty acids than you would normally. So it's not a weight loss product, although people have lost weight from it. We have a lot of science and third-party validation behind this. If you'd like, we're happy to send you any of this and or guide you, just show you where it is. We don't necessarily get into all the science on this presentation. First of all, it's 20 minutes, but most people don't care about the science. They just want to know, is it safe and does it work? And the answer is yes to both. One study we do like to point out, though, is done by Toro Labs. This was a very profound study released in 2017, and it was a genetic study. It was an 8-week study done with healthy 35-year-olds, and they wanted to see what this does at the genetic level of turning on genes, because as we age, and again with stress, environmental toxins, our genetic pathways turn off. And so what they found, or what they did, was half of the people drank redox, ASEA redox, half of them drank salt water, and 10 people got nothing as like a baseline. So of course nothing happened to the people who drank salt water. But what was so profound about this study was that 100% of the people not 90, not 95%, 100% of the people, every single person who drank these molecules had up to a 31% beneficial change in 5 different areas. So is your immune system. Again, balancing it out. Inflammatory response, that's inflammation. Cardiovascular health and arterial elasticity. Gut and digestive health. And then hormone modulation, balancing your hormones. As you can see, it's covering essentially your whole body. And your hormones control a lot of other genetic pathways. So you're probably familiar with a lot of these. I'll tell you the ones I'm familiar with. So serotonin, this naturally releases serotonin. So people just kind of naturally feel good on this product. They tend to feel their stress kind of melt away, at ease. I know that had happened with my mom when she was in the financial bind that she was in. Circadian rhythm, people get into a very deep sleep again. I've had people report, is this supposed to give you very vivid dreams? And I say yes. The REM sleep that you're supposed to do. NRF2, that's oxidative stress. And now we have 2 studies on how we greatly reduce oxidative stress and turn on in the NRF2 pathway by up to 60%, which is huge. So we have white papers, if any of you would like that as well, to show you that. Ovarian infertility genes. So women having difficulty conceiving. I myself am pregnant. I'm taking this. Again, it's already inside the baby. It's only going to help everything between me and the baby and so forth with being pregnant, delivery, and so forth. So I'm looking forward to my results. Human thyroid stimulating. That was one of my mom's issues, and it helped balance her thyroid a little bit better. Insulin signaling, people with blood sugar issues, sudden infant death syndrome, spinal cord injury. I know it sounds too good to be true, but we've had people get out of wheelchairs again. The most profound things by introducing the body with more redox. Body can do amazing things. Just to show you that this is a huge area of science being studied around the world. We are just the only company in the world that's been able to tap into this science. But universities from around the world are realizing what this is, what it does for the body, and how it helps with so many different health issues. So the NIH actually granted the Medical University of South Carolina a grant, 10.5 million grant, to open up their own redox research center in 2015. And from there, all these other universities open up their own. So here where I live, University of Colorado in Boulder, Nebraska, Cornell, Wisconsin, Virginia, Harvard, Wake Forest, Vanderbilt. These are just here in the US. There's a World Redox Congress. This happens in Paris every year, usually in Paris. And this is where doctors from around the world fly in and again do ongoing research about redox and how it helps different health issues and just new findings that they're finding. So last year was the 25th. I imagine they're going to do another one this year. And then this is pretty profound, and this is where doctors started paying attention to redox. James Watson, who helped discover the double helix of the DNA, published an article in the Lancet Medical Journal stating that type 2 diabetes, cancer, and brain disorders were all from the lack of redox signaling molecules. And he went on to say, if we had enough of these molecules, we'd virtually never have disease because our bodies would be constantly healing. So that's also a profound article, 2014. And then lastly, I'm just going to wrap this up with saying people will Google anything and they'll see the good and bad of everything. But if you want actual good evidence and research, you can use Google Scholar and type in redox signaling molecules. There's over 1 million articles done with it. And or PubMed.gov. This is where doctors do their research. So I'm not even sure if you're going to understand the studies, but Depending how you put it in, you can put in signaling molecules, redox signaling molecules. There's between 6,000 to over 200,000 peer-reviewed studies done with redox signaling and different health issues as well. So those are great sites. Again, we have other sites that are just more layman's terms, but if people want to get analytical, you can always point them here. So that's the end of the presentation. Again, we like to keep it 20 minutes, which it perfectly is. But open it up for any questions that you have. Feel free to unmute yourself and or type it in the chat. I'm just going to close this and stop recording so that if anybody has any non-compliant questions, we can go ahead and answer them. Yes.
Can you tell or notice what you've noticed since being pregnant a little more specifically?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
And I'll keep this recorded. Well, I didn't have any of the typical pregnancy symptoms that a lot of women go through. I didn't have morning sickness. I wasn't tired. Nothing really changed for me. I felt completely fine. My blood work is great. I've had no problems during my pregnancy, basically. So,
are you using the VIA?
I am not.
Usually give you their okay.
Yeah, I talked to Donna Lynn, and Donna Lynn is one of our midwives on our medical professional board. She suggested a prenatal for me because there's some things that you need a little bit more of being pregnant. So I'm just taking that while I'm pregnant, and of course doing the redox and the Renewed 28 and so forth.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Jackie, this is Susan.
Hi, Susan.
My daughter is researching this, and I actually love multi-levels, but I'm trying to, I haven't started taking the product, but I want to get my own story going, and I wanted my daughter to do it because she should start a business as well, because she earns a lot of money and there's no deductions when you work for somebody else. So I want her to be above me. So I'm making her do the research. I mean, I'm not making her, she's actually taking it on. She won't get into it until she does her research. So you said that she look up redox signaling molecules in Google Scholar. Is that what you said?
If she's more analytical and she wants to see peer-reviewed studies done with redox signaling, she can go to pubmed.gov.
PubMed.gov?
Yeah, pubmed.gov.
Okay. All right, good.
The two best websites that we tell people about, though, is discoverredox.com and realredoxresults.com. It's password. Yeah, discoverredox.com. Yep. That's where you'll find information about the product, the science, our company, everything you're looking for.
I did send her some videos, and Lynn, of course, helped me with that, but she's going to go off on her own and see what everybody else is saying. That's why I wanted to kind of guide her to something like the Google Scholar, and the PubMed.gov is probably perfect for her to.
Oh, okay.
For me,
yeah, she's more analytical.
Good presentation. Thank you.
Oh, good. Hopefully it all made sense.
Yes.
Good.
Jackie, this is Sharon.
Hey, Sharon.
I have a friend whose husband is like really sick. He just his veins like steep, and he just starts bleeding all the time. And I offered to give her a bottle and have him try it. He's not allowed to have sodium, so she's leery about him taking the redox because of the sodium that's in it. And I don't know how to answer that. I mean, I've sent her links to websites and stuff like that, but I don't know how to answer her question or what to tell her.
Sure. And I'm happy to send you stuff as well. You can also go to redoxguide.com, redoxguide.com, short videos of doctor answering questions just like what you're asking about the sodium and so forth.
Okay,
And you can tell her that the amount of sodium in this, because the redox signaling molecule suspended in a saline solution that's identical to what we make in our body. But the
right,
amount of salt that's left over is the amount of either like 2 carrots or 1 piece of wheat toast. So it does not harm anybody in any way. The only thing that can happen is like when your body's detoxing, because toxins are flooding into your bloodstream, the blood pressure might go up a little bit. But we just make sure people are drinking enough water so that you're getting rid of these toxins and so forth. So it might go
okay,
up just in the beginning, but then it'll start help balance and get her blood pressure back into balance if she has a blood pressure issue.
okay,
But yeah, it will not hurt them in any way.
okay. I didn't think it would, but takes more than, I mean, he's really sick, and so she's running him to the emergency room, once a month or so. So she's real leery about giving him anything. So
Mhm.
I will suggest these and see if that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
if I may suggest too, and Jackie, correct me if it's wrong, but you can spray it on the skin and or use the gel if you're worried about ingesting the liquid,
Yep.
Okay.
right on the legs or whatever. So
Yeah.
there's many ways to do this.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? I'm happy to stay on as long as there's questions that you guys have. All right. Well, thanks for making this easy. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm gonna now I'll stop the recording now.